As you can see, the weight is almost resting on the floor. So now it's time to wind the clock. I'll move the camera over to the side to show you. There's a little wooden teardrop shaped weight hanging down here in the middle of the clock from a thin black string hanging off of this little pulley. So for to wind the clock, you pull down on this weight while at the same time lifting up on the thick cord there that is attached to the weight that's down by the floor. You'll need to kind of reach in behind the gear to grab this weight. If the clock is wound down this far, that means this weight is going to be up high like this. So you have to reach in probably with your right hand, grab it, and start pulling down. But you can't do all the winding by pulling down on this weight. That would put too much stress on everything. So pull down first and then start lifting up on the other string like that. So it's a motion, just a smooth motion with both hands. Pull down and lift up. And if you bump the pendulum here, that's not going to hurt it. So pull down, lift up. Now I can grab the weight with my right hand and pull down with my left hand. And lift the weight all the way up. So it's right up there by the pulley. Now the main weight is at the top, and the little weight you pull down is down there, and it's kind of lying on the floor. It may lie there for a little bit, but within an hour it'll be up off the floor. Also, you can loop that little weight, it winds around the center shaft. Here you can see where the two strings are winding. The main weight cord winds in the front, and behind it is the little string for the smaller weight, the winding weight. And they wind in opposite directions. Now if you find that the little weight is laying on the floor too much, when the main weight is at the top, and then when the main weight gets down to the floor, maybe this little weight won't be all the way up. Let's say it's hanging down from the pulley like that, hanging down a few inches. Then you might be able to wind the string one more loop around that center shaft. So I'm just going to take this string here and show you. I'm just going to wind this, put this little weight around like that to give one extra loop around that center shaft. And now I got to pull that loop all the way up like that. There. Then when the main weight gets to the floor, this little weight will be higher like that. Of course, if it's wound around too many times on the center shaft, then when the main weight gets to the floor, this little weight, it may wind all the way up and come off the top of this pulley like that, and then it'll just kind of hang down. So then you may have to unwind it down below. In that case, you would unwind it, maybe one loop off of that center shaft. I will have this set so that when the clock is hung, when it's hung about this high, the way you see it here, hung, about eye level. I've got that hanging screw, it's about 69 inches off the floor. So if that's about 6 feet up off the floor, then that little weight won't rest on the floor when the main weight is wound up. It's probably too much information. The main thing is just pulling it down and lifting up to wind it. Now for setting the hands, you turn the minute hand. You can turn it clockwise, spin it around all you want. If you want to turn it counterclockwise, you can see as I'm turning it now, it's making this escapement wheel turn backwards. And all you have to do is just grab the gear, grab the wheel like that. And then you can spin the hand around all you want. As you can see, I'm only turning the minute hand, the long hand, out on the front. And the hour hand, and because of these two little gears out in front, the hour hand follows along to show the correct time, pointing to the correct hour as the minute hand comes around. Now if the hour hand gets moved out of position, so like there, instead of showing 3 o'clock, it's like halfway between the 2 and the 3, or halfway between the 3 and the 4. So this can be adjusted. It's resting on a tapered shaft, so if I wiggle it and pull it forward, it just comes completely loose. So by pushing it further onto the shaft, it tightens up. You want to grab this gear, though, grab it tight if you're going to be tightening the hand. So you don't want to be turning this gear against the other gear too hard. So you grab this gear to hold it in place. Now I'll put the two hands straight up. That's usually how I adjust the hour hand, is I put the minute hand showing straight up to the imaginary 12 up here, and then line up the hour hand behind it. There's a little bit of play in it, so you just gotta get it the best you can. Okay, starting at 12 o'clock. Now it shows 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and so forth.